Hey everybody, welcome to Dinner and a Tip. My name is Brenda and I'm going to be your cooking guide. So today we're going to do a mozzarella stuffed meatball sandwich because we just can't do a regular meatball sandwich. So I'm going to start with 1 pound of sausage. I'm going to do 1/3 cup of Italian panko. You could use regular or whatever. I'm going to do some fresh Italian herbs, probably 2 tablespoons of this, and a little bit of garlic salt. And then we're going to just go ahead and give this a quick mix. If you have an egg, you could throw it in. It might bind a little bit better, but when you have too many kids, they eat all the food that you need to cook with that day. So unfortunately we don't have that, but I think it's still going to turn out just fine. So I did get these pre-made mozzarella balls. You could just get blocks of cheese too for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out, and then I'm just going to do 1 mozzarella ball around it, and then I'm just going to make these into some balls here. So, and actually those balls look really big. Let's try to make them a little smaller. We want these to be able to fit into a sandwich. So we're going to go ahead, and then it's just easier if you take and kind of flatten it out, and then you can go ahead and get those meatballs wrapped around the mozzarella. So, and I was this many days old when I found out that you can go to Jimmy John's and actually get their bread. Their leftover day-old bread is like 50 cents for 1 big loaf. So we're actually going to use this. We're going to use this for the mozzarella balls today, for the meatball sandwich, and then we're going to go ahead and I think tomorrow we're going to try some Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, and we're going to go ahead and use that bread for that too. So I'm going to go ahead and finish making these balls up, and then we'll be right back and we'll get them on the grill and get the marinara started for these guys too. Alright, well, we've got all of the balls formed right now. And so I'm going to just put down a little avocado oil just so these don't stick at all. We're just going to go ahead and cook these till the sausage is all the way done. It's just going to take probably a few minutes on each side. So we're going to spread these guys out. And while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and take our Jimmy John's bread. I just went ahead and cut this open. And then I'm going to toast the buns on these ones. So I've got this garlic spread that I got at Walmart. And it actually has already got all the Italian seasonings that you're going to possibly need. So it's a great quick one if you don't want to mix up your own butter. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I also went ahead and just got a small pan here that I've got the marinara sauce in. So you can put that in hot so it'll taste better when we've got that going on. Go ahead and check these balls. And they're already getting to be a nice brown, so you want to make sure you keep moving these guys because they will burn if you don't keep up on that. So I'm doing that. I'm going to go ahead and toast our buns just so they're going to be all ready about the same time. When you put this bread down, you just want to kind of give it a nice little quick pat down so it's making contact with the whole surface. That way you'll get the best browning on your bread. So I did not have the egg. I'm guessing next time I'd probably try to do the egg. I know it helps bind things a little bit better, but these actually are keeping good shape, so I'm not going to worry too much about it today. So it's just, I typically with those I do, but yeah, other than that, they're actually staying their form. Got the bread is toasting, so we're going to give it one more check on this. Alright, it's kind of toasted. You can see right here where it doesn't have good contact, so we're going to just flip that, press it down just a little bit better so we get them as crunchy as possible. So I did the mozzarella balls, and actually they melt a little bit better than if you're just getting the blocks of cheese. But the blocks of cheese, or if you're in a pinch and you have string cheese that you need to use up, that's always an option too. So you have one meatball that kind of getting away from us, so I'm going to go ahead and check. We're just going to put this guy on the side for right now because he's going to go ahead and melt all over our grill. But one meatball fail is not too bad. Got our sauce done. But because our bread is done, I'm going to go ahead and flip this bread over here. It's a good way if you don't have all the fancy equipment. This is just basically what I use for cookies or a cooling rack. So I'm going to keep these meatballs moving till they're all the way cooked. And actually, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do with these guys is, I've got the dome. I'm just going to steam these a little bit so they get cooked a little faster. Just going to run some water on the outside and let those steam till they're all the way cooked. So we'll probably give this about another minute or two, and then we'll be back to show you how to plate this up and how to enjoy these awesome meatball sandwiches. Okay, so our cook time was probably about 10 minutes on these guys for them to get all the way cooked. So I'm just going to go ahead and toss them right on here. Technically, you don't need to put any mozzarella cheese on these since it's actually on the inside, but we're going to throw a little bit on here anyways. So capture 2 extra balls here. I'm just going to hit this with some marinara. You can do spaghetti sauce, but I like the marinara. It's a little bit thicker, and I think it's a better finish for it. So, and then I just have a little bit of mozzarella cheese that I'm going to go ahead and just put on here. And then to get the cheese to melt, the best way is, I mean, these are hot, but they'll melt kind of on their own, but actually we'll kind of slide it over here. Look how pretty that is. We're going to go ahead and do that dome again. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the water underneath. This is going to bring the steam up, but it's not going to get the bun mushy because we do not want that. So, well, that's finishing off. I'm just going to go ahead and give this guy a bite real quick. I love that the mozzarella is actually already inside the meatballs. The Italian sausage, you can go ahead and do a mix, but I really like just the straight Italian. So check these guys out. As you can see, the steam went ahead and melted that mozzarella just like we wanted. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.